Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you today?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Intan Mawaddha. I'm a student at STKIP PGRI Lubuk Linggau. The Honorable Mrs. Ayu Oktaviani M.pd and also the beloved friends. Thank you for joining this meeting today. Okay, today I want to present about improving the student's speaking skills through debate technique. Abstract. This study is based on the importance of speaking skill. Speaking was important to be learned because speaking is the way to communicate with other people, to deliver opinion and express idea. But in the fact, the student's ability in speaking English is low. It is caused by several factors such as the elements of speaking like vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar, and fluency that must be mastered by students in order to be good English speaker. In this research, the researchers used debate technique to improve students' speaking skills. This study is classroom action research that was done in 2 cycles, and the data collection was done using text and observation. The data from the text and observation that had been taken from every cycle were analyzed quantitatively. The implementation of the debate technique in teaching speaking at the second year of SMA Negeri 1 Lasusua was conducted in 2 cycles, including cycle 1 and cycle 2. The participants of this study were 29 students. The result of these studies showed that using the debate technique can improve student speaking skill. Debate is an appropriate technique used to improve student speaking skill for the students. The result of this study helpful information, especially for the English teacher who is teaching at that class and all English teachers generally. Next, introduction. Teaching and learning English as the foreign language, most students cannot speak English well. For that condition, there are some factors of the difficulty. There are internal and external factors. Internal factors come from the student themselves. That's concerned with personality factors. The students were afraid to express their idea. They worried everyone will mock them. Other factors come out from students. This concern with their environment, parents, and teaching learning technique in their school. Based on the result of interview with English teacher of SMA Negeri 1 Latusua on March 20, 2015, it found kinds of student problem in learning English, especially in speaking. The teacher said that his students cannot express their idea. They were afraid to make mistake and did not have enough vocabulary. He should prepare a good technique in concluding their teaching to motivate the students to speak English. Next, literature review. First, concept of speaking. Speaking is making use of language in ordinary voice, uttering words, knowing and being able to use a language as expressing oneself in words, making speech. Based on the definition, we can conclude that speaking is an important skill which is done by producing voice of words. It is using for communicating with others. State that The ability to speak English presupposes the element necessary for spoken production as follows. First, connected speech. The effective speakers of English need to be able not only to produce individual phonemes of English, but also to use fluid connected speech. So the teacher should involve students in oral activities designed especially to improve their connective speech. And then second, expressive device. Native of English change the pitch and stress of particular parts of utterance, vary volume and speed, and show by other physical and nonverbal means how they are feeling. The use of these devices contribute to the skill to convey meaning. They allow the expression of emotion and intensity. Students should be able to deploy at least some of such supra-segmental features and devices in the same way if they are to be fully effective communication. And third, lexis and grammar. Spontaneous speech is marked by the use of number of common lexical phrases, especially in their performance of central language function. Teachers should therefore supply variety of phrases for different functions such as greeting, agreeing, and disagreeing. And then the last, negotiation language. Effective speaking benefits from the negotiatory language we use to seek clarification and to show the structure of what we are saying. And then their 5 components are generally recognized in analysis of speech process. First, pronunciation, including the segmental features, vowels and consonants, and the stress and intonation patterns. And then second, grammar. Third, vocabulary. Fourth, fluency, the ease and speed of the flow of speech. And the last, comprehension. For all our communication centrally requires a subject to respond to speech as well as to intonate it. Okay, next. Number 2, concept of debate. A debate is a speaking situation in which opposite points of view are present and agreed. Debate is one of technique which has many benefits for students. First, improve students' critical thinking. In debating, every student is proposed to analyze a problem critically. And then second, develop students' communication skill. Debates spend many hours assembling and practicing hundreds of public speeches on topic of national importance. And then third, questioning skill developed in a struggle often in the face of disappointment and defeat. Fourth, they are capable of making and defending informed choices about complex issues outside of their own area of interest because they do so on a daily basis. And fifth, debate is thus not only a way to connect students with academic subject in meaningful ways, it is also a way to reconnect students to public life if they have been overcome by feeling of alienation. Policy debate specifically teaches students to adopt multiple perspective which describes one of the most important problem solving skills. And there are some items related to debate. First, motion, and second, definition, third, deadline, fourth, argument, fifth, rebuttal, and the last, sum up or closing. Okay, next, methodology. The design of research which used by the researchers in this research was classroom action research (CER). The researcher conducted the classroom action research at SMA Negeri 1 Lasusua. The source of the data in this research is from what the researcher got during the research. The researcher collected the source of the data related to this research from observation and test which was conducted in every cycle. In this research, the researcher chose some of which were appropriate to his school environment and can be done there. The technique and method which used by the researcher to collect the data were observation and test. In this observation, the objects of observation were students' activity in English language teaching learning. Test is important part of every teaching and learning experience. The forms of test were spoken test in the form of debate. From those forms, the researcher got scored directly the specific learning. The scoring can be done quickly and easily. There are 5 aspects of assessment in speaking. There are vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, fluency, and comprehension. And next, findings. As well, the meetings ran well. There was some significant improvement from cycle 1 and cycle 2. In this first cycle, the average result was 64, and the teacher used debate as technique in teaching speaking. In teaching learning process, there were many students joined the class enthusiastically. They paid attention to the lesson, although many of students feel confused with debate technique because they never practiced debate before. Researcher found many students there were still confused to join debate. In the second cycle, the average result was 78.4. The teaching learning process in this cycle was better than the previous one. The score above shows that the second cycle got improvement. The researcher found that majority of students enjoy the activity. Okay, we can look this graphic, cycle 1 and cycle 2. The researcher felt that the implementation of debate in teaching speaking was successful because debate is an interesting activity where students have a lot of opportunity to practice speaking in speaking class. Students also had active involvement during the debate process in order to defend their opinions. So researchers conclude that debate is an appropriate technique used in teaching speaking for students. And next. Okay, thank you. Any question?
My name is Tavalia Nabila. I want to ask, what makes this difficult for students to improve their speaking skill? Thank you.
Okay, my name is Diva Aulia Rahmi. I have a question. Is this debating technique effective to improve students' speaking skill, in your opinion?
Okay, thank you. Okay, please give me time to answer the question. Okay, I will answer the question from Davalia. The question is, what makes it difficult for students to improve their speaking skills? Okay. Students find it difficult to speaking skills because they are afraid of making mistakes and then like vocabulary, pronunciation and grammar. How about, is it clear?
Okay. Thank you for the explanation. I understand.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next I will answer the question from Diva. The question is this debating technique effective to improve students' speaking skill? Okay, in my opinion, of course, this debate technique is effective to improve students' speaking skills because they can express their opinions. This can also train their courage to be confident. How about this? Is it clear, Diva?
Okay, thank you for your explanation. I understand.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I will conclude the presentation. The researcher's conclusion is presented according with the data which have been analyzed in the previous, previous capture. From all the data analysis about using the BAT technique to improve student speaking skill at of second year SMA Negeri 1 Lasusua, it can be concluded. First, the use of the BAT technique has been advocated in teaching speaking process. And the second, teaching speaking through debate can be enjoyable experience for both teacher, the students and students. Result of the research show that the students improve their speaking skill efficiently and effectively. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your participation and I hope the presentation will give benefits for us. Thank you for attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.